Some are firm fixed, some hover on the brink of chaos. Great major triad, Do, Mi, Sol, thunders the majesty of Father, Holy Ghost, and Son. Chord of diminished fifth, Re, Fa, Si, shrieks of the devil slipping back to nothingness. Others are agony, healing, redemption, death, and all contained celestially in the music of the spheres, extol the marriage, musical, of heaven and hell. This is the key of harmony. Chapter 7. Mankind needs 500 years to prepare itself. The Renaissance prefigured the newcomer as the age of Buddha, Pythagoras, Lao Tse prefigured Christ. For 500 years the hierarchy poured balm upon the wounds, healed, eased the crucifixion of mankind, by art, music, poetry, by charity and science, by revelation of his kinship everywhere. Slowly the constellations turned. The time approached when all the planets should be conjoined again, an age consummated, another initiated by the newcomer. The hierarchy looked out, chose 2 messengers, launched east to west the impulse of preparation. The key of harmony and torch of power they entrusted to the first, a Greek. He carried both from Mount Meru to Moscow. There met the second, duplicated the key, kindled the latter's torch, and both moved on to England and to France. Everything real is created by a triad. For this reason, great school must appoint 2 poles in the world, itself the third and hidden one. These 2 men were plus and minus, light and dark, the male and female of the message. The Greek destroyer of men's complacency, trickster, magician, hypnotist, juggler of light and dark, new Orpheus, charming his slaves with music nostalgic of beyond, compassionate sorcerer, diabolic saint, gin from alchemic bottle, compounding of laws and frailty, Arabian Night's delight. The Russian, firm and invisible, compiler of wisdom, master of silent experiment, unrecognized effect, new scientist, himself his laboratory, his pupils, retorts, and their contents, the work, transmutation. Stern guide, most loving friend, austere in the sacrifice of lesser prize, in power, perfected jovial, planter of seeds, the gardener of the soul. The Greek as masterwork turned cosmic laws to dance, a tide of harmonious movement, bewitching as Maya itself, subtle and difficult as very dance of worlds. By dance broke down men's obstinate separateness, made pygmy passions echo to universal ones, evoked in the world of men a shimmering image of universal harmony. Soberly, year on year, the Russian taught, find what you want, be simple and sincere, by understanding be freed from illusion and from fear. Remember yourself always and everywhere. Change destructive emotions into harmony, study the laws, serve faithfully the work. Remember yourself always and everywhere. Between these poles the lightning arced, be drawn to either pole, the Russian warned. Cling where you are drawn, don't play between, the current is dangerous. Men misunderstood, piously prayed the poles be reconciled. Some tempted the tension, or shocked, but most heeded the warning, and their little magnets growing polarized, the great field of force was amplified. Slowly, within this world, a cradle formed, magnetic field for electronic nativity. Chapter 8. Both died. Polarity transfigured to the realm of deeds. What was prefigured darkly translated now to light. The Russian first grew old, invisible. Behind the crumbling facade of the body constructed a new edifice, whence he looked out, tested his friends in silence, by play of dotage, dared them to disbelieve. And behind his own ruin, contacted greatest school, was given the script of that which must be performed. He returned from second exile to the land of his lifetime's work, called all his friends, and knowing how too much knowledge, like printed paper, is in danger of the fire, declared, I abandon the system, leave explanation, be. What is your wish? 'Tis harmony now we seek. I know not the answer yet, but go to find it. Withdrew, enigma, silence, invisibly worked. The plot prepared, by casting all perishable upon the flood, and striving mightily to other bank, emerged naked, pure, clean, and utterly reborn. And his friends too lost all they dared, caught the rope cast from there, where washed by the waves, Christ mediating in all. And before he set his body adrift to disintegrate, with physical tongue last said to them, reconstruct all, now make all new again, from the very beginning, thus only harmony may be achieved. The Russian died, abandoned the solar system, returned with power to do, electronically prepared the perfection of his work, of all his disciples' love, began to create magnetic field as cradle for electronic nativity. The Greek died also, in burst of compassion, love, and gaiety, which made of his death an Arabian Night's delight, and joking up to heaven, escaped with but slightest singeing of his wings, a drift of unearthly music echoing in his trail, was healed, resumed his right place in spiritual polarity, triad transformed, translated all effects. Thus the messengers returned to the ark which launched them forth. Their first work done, their second now begun. Chapter 9. Cosmic conception coincided with the second messenger's ascent. Divine mercy flared, impregnated the waiting earth. The guiding constellations wheeled to place. Cells on another scale paired, merged, split, multiplied, the spiritual chromosomes resolving ecstatically to the new age's shape, to pattern of as yet unmanifested harmony. The clock of new creation began to tick, its time inexorably unrolling from that ecstasy. The web and weft of an age in embryo went knitting up, its organs sketched in, its understanding glimpsed, its interdependent parts, now single men, now groups, later must grow to nations, beliefs, whole races, and their destiny. For what is achieved in little in the embryo shall be achieved in grandeur in the man. All this the transfigured messenger must end. Chapter 10. Harmonious babe must grow in harmony. Its very cells, its assembling organs, bones and flesh sing in the womb of time. And each man, woman, craft, and creed that aspires to the future and to God is such a cell, such organ, or such bone. How then shall each member learn to take part in harmony? First, let each note sound clear and full, pure in its tone, nor sharp nor fiat from imitation, pretense, or doubt. Let each type be himself, now his own nature, ring to the vibration God has given him. Let Jovial heal, Martial be brave, Venusian loving, let Moon be secret, Mercury serviceable, Saturn most deeply wise. Let each craft fulfill itself, artist imagine, scientist deduce, leader bear all. Let each race refine its secrets, each creed its hidden mystery, Christian find Christ, Muslim Muhammad, Buddhist Gautama the Prince. This is the first rule of harmony. Second, let each note, remembering itself, listen for the chord. Hear its own sound, ringing with other sounds struck simultaneously. Let do hear itself sound with me, soul. Let Mars hear his note ringing with Jupiter and Moon. Let priest hear his note blend with astronomers and kings, till, waking from single notes to wealth of chords, each learn to recognize their infinite variety, taste chord from chord, know the nature of those in which he sounds, and why. This is the second rule of harmony. Third, let each note accept the key to come. Follow the new tonic, now revealed to it. Let each type yield to him who unites them all craft to the greater truth, all nations to higher school, all creeds to the not yet born. Each served as tonic in its day and age, each piped the tune once for all humanity. Now fall to other, yet equal place sounding the same, enter a higher key. This is the third rule of harmony. And fourth, Faith is the fourth. If note have not faith in the music to be played, in composer, conductor, and holy symphony, what use? Without faith, each note's a pointless tedium. With faith, each note shall know that it is not, has no existence but in the infinite music which evokes it, and knowing this, knows all, to the ultimate inspiration of the work. This is the fourth rule of harmony, and all this together is the key of harmony. All this is freedom from violence and from strife, escape from crucifixion, the integration of heaven and hell. And by all this, harmonious babe shall grow, shall form and move, and, when the planets conjoin again, be born. Chapter 11. This is the new Christianity. This is the light. Look backwards, but not with longing. Resist seduction, even by the first. Do you doubt that all now is different? Hear then the change. Vanity of vanities, the old forerunner preached. Glorious enjoyment, the future choir responds. There is nothing new under the sun, the old one said. Let us leap over the sun then, saith the new. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, the first John warned. Rejoice, for heaven's in every limb, exults the next. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? Christ cried before. O generation of kittens, how can ye, being gods, speak evil? The echo comes. If thy eye offend thee, pluck it out, he said again. For it is better than one member should perish than the whole be cast in hell. Not so today. If thy eye offend thee, pluck out thy offense, and cherish the eye God gave. The command runs now. For it is better to enter heaven with a real eye than hell with an imaginary offense. The tempter tried. Get thee behind me, Satan, Christ rebuked. Now speak we fair. Accept second place, O Satan, and be redeemed, for 'tis only the lust for first that makes thee Satan. And Lord of harmony, take first place in all my parts, for if thou hast it not, there is no harmony. So all is made new, all opposite, all redeemed. Then reconstruct all, and rejoicing await the proof. Chapter 12. God created all, permeates all, is all. Granite is but the compression of his electrons. Who the devil but his prodigal son? This match is God, I blow out God, what a joke. This spider is God, I kill God, what a tragedy. All that happens is God. All that has happened is God. All that will happen is God. The bread I eat is God. The saliva which melts it, God. The life that leaps thence into my blood is simply God. Where God crosses himself three ways, things come to pass. God in my bowels, God in my lungs, God in my blood, God in my eyes, God in my limbs, God in my heart. And somewhere in my head, a better kind of God, where God crosses himself seven ways, perfections possible. Since God then, in creation, left nothing out, we in regeneration must take all back. Since God from one made three, from three harmony, and from harmony all, we in the noise of all must rehear the harmony. In harmony refine the major triad, resolve that chord to the one note which sounds the universe. You too are God. Can you please God by coddling his flesh, unmindful of his spirit? You too are God. Can you please God in spirit only, punishing his flesh? There is a better way. Make thee a bridge, a conscious soul, this also God. Know him in all three worlds, restoring their contents back to him to whom it all belongs. At the fall, man forgot God who made him, God of whom his every part is made. Later, some men remembered, but in part alone. Remembered their love was made of God's, forgot their anger was. Acknowledge Spirit's divinity, doubted that of flesh. Avowed this teacher to be his messenger, stoned that as Antichrist, worshipped in this temple, desecrated that. If God pervades all, is he further from the brothel than the church, from bank than shrine? Maybe bank and brothel are sunk deeper in forgetfulness, or maybe not. The distance thence to God is the same zero anyway. Him who forgot remind, him who has guessed confirm. No thing is evil, but in forgetfulness of God. Money, the godless fount of greed, oppression, violence, robbery, in divine remembrance becomes invisible instrument of the Paraclete. Sex, of itself alone the source of lust, jealousy, possessiveness, and rape, in memory of God is glorious enjoyment of his nature. No thing is good, but in remembrance of God. All things are good, remembering their godliness. For this their godliness transcends their time, change, devilishness, and decay. In each this godliness is named the self. Remember then thyself, remembering God. Remember God, remembering thyself. Yet remember too that none can merit him, God not even, the angels dare deserve. God alone can give himself, but this to eternity he does, for such he is. This is the secret, awfully simple, that the earth ignores. To ignore it is one thing, to guess it another, to know it a third, a fourth to perceive it, a fifth to be it. This last achieved, the Herald of Harmony can return to him who sent him, his mission done. This last achieved, the universal symphony shall be drowned in ecstatic silence of the whole. Know then our present pandemonium as God, our future harmony as God, holy unison as God, silence as God, self as God. God, God, God.